In this episode, Sarasota Cars and Coffee just keeps growing. A very fancy Porsche and the new GR Corolla. Welcome to episode 202 of the We Are Auto Show. What's up, Derek?
Mr. Michael Rowell. This past weekend, we got to go to our local Cars and Coffee.
We did, and we celebrated someone's birthday there.
Ooh, we did. Mine.
Yes.
It was quite the fun event. It is blown up. That show is massive.
I saw somewhere that they quoted was either 800 or 900 cars.
It is massive.
Bro, I remember when Cars and Coffee here was a group of about 10 to 15 cars at Suncoast Porsche. And then it was like 20 to 30 cars. And then it was like a solid 20 to 40 for about a couple years. And then out of nowhere, it was like 40, 80, 150. Oh my God, we don't have enough spots at Porsche anymore. Oh my God. And then the gentleman that runs it, Peter, thank you, by the way, he found a spot at UTC. And I was like, oh my God, now we're like 200 cars. Oh my God, now we're 400 cars. Oh my God, now we have 800 cars. What?
We are outgrowing the mall parking lot that we're in.
And it's one of the biggest malls on this side of Florida.
What do you do after that?
Well, we buy all of the land.
Just pave it all.
And I have to say, knock on wood, knock on everything, thank you to everyone that goes to Sarasota Cars and Coffee for not being a giant, colossal idiot.
Yeah, there's nobody doing dumb things.
And I think with how we have it, or how Peter has it set up, with the entrances and then also the cops actually directing traffic,
yeah,
it doesn't really leave a lot of room for tomfoolery.
No, which I think is good.
Yeah.
Because this car show I would kind of say it's probably one of the best in Florida, if not the best in Florida.
It's got to be right up there now.
Yeah. I know people are coming from 2-3 hours away.
Naples.
Yeah.
I mean, coming from north of Tampa, like
they're waking up early, making a day of it. Rightly so.
Because it's wild.
You get to see cars like this that we're going to show you real quick.
Yeah, a couple cars we're going to quickly scroll through. So if you're listening on the audio, come check us out on YouTube.
Yes.
We Are Auto on YouTube.
So what is this?
This is a purple Lamborghini.
Yes.
You couldn't tell. It is a purple Lamborghini Huracan Performante Spider. But it's no ordinary Huracan Performante Spider.
No.
Because in this picture, it's very hard to see, but if the lighting was better, if we could scroll in just behind those exhaust tips, you would see two big old turbos in there spooling away.
Yeah, you can't really tell because it's very dark, but there are.
As he came in, you're then zzz, and I was like, oh my God, what a thing.
Yeah, very nice. Quite the... It stuck out if you knew where to look, but this was on the other half of the car show. So,
yeah, this was in like the Loser lot.
Yeah, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane.
It was neat. So, moving on, we had this.
A Corvair with a Golf-style livery on it?
Yeah. This is kind of odd. This is
things that you shouldn't put a Golf livery on 101.
I think a late 60s Corvair.
Yeah.
That they have pretty heavily modified, kind of.
They've gone very Golf.
Yeah. I think it works.
Is this the right car to Golf for livery?
It's not the worst. Is it right? No. I don't think so.
What would be worse? This Corvair Golf liveried or your car Golf liveried? Oh, that's a good question.
That is a good question. I would say like a Prius Golf livery to be worse.
That would be the most worstest, yes.
BRZ Golf livery to be kind of weird.
It would.
I think it would be better than this, though, to be honest.
But it's interesting to see someone that put a Golf-style livery on a Corvair.
Yeah, and I think they've done some modifications to the front of the car as well, just a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
Kind of cool, though.
Yeah, wild thing. Then we have a pretty heavily modified McLaren GT. I believe on Instagram that's GT Mac and Cheese, I believe. But pretty heavily modified. I know I've seen some social posts. This car's been rallied around the country, so I'd love to see that Cool stuff. Pretty wild to see, though.
Really neat. Kind of a cool wrap. Cool car.
Yep. And then we move on to this very exciting looking BMW M4, the G82 generation, which is the big grill generation.
It's big. The grill is massive as well. But we got some stance going on here, and the grill's been modified?
The grill's been shortened. This car is on bags, so it's airlift, right?
Right.
But the grill normally goes all the way to the very bottom and in the very top. Now it's a shorter amount of grill, I think.
I think that's a good thing.
I think so too. I think that's the one thing that the new G80, G82 BMWs need.
I will say the bigger grill is growing on me the more I see them.
It is.
Yeah. It's not as bad as it was when it initially came out. But it took 6 months to a year to do it.
A year and a half, I think, at this point.
Yeah. They're still not great looking. But I don't think that they're as ugly as they were when they initially came out.
Modern BMWs are not my favorite.
Well, the newer ones are going back on the grill.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they're getting the smaller grill.
No, that's only because it's a smaller car.
Oh.
The M2 has a smaller grill, but the 3 Series and the 4 Series still has a giant grill.
Oh, well, I'm sure when they redo the model.
It'll just get bigger.
No.
It'll just be one giant driving grill.
No, and when it moves to EV, it won't have a grill. It'll just be a Tesla face.
They've still been putting grills on their EVs.
I know, and they look goofy.
And
I know.
it's the stupidest thing in the world. But
They're
either way,
not
this BMW, very heavily modified. It's not usually my thing, but it's kind of cool. I can respect it. And they've done something with the grill to make it less big. So good on you.
All right. Huh.
Well, you know what that is.
I do.
That's the new Acura NSX, but it's the Type S. So that is the newest Acura NSX, the last Acura NSX.
It is. It has the new face to it.
It does.
What do you think about it?
It's fine.
It's just a slight tweak.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's the Japanese R8.
That's a hot take.
It is the Japanese Audi R8. It's a fine supercar.
Dang.
I mean,
you're right.
It is. It's good. Yes, that is the word you'd use to describe it. Is good. It is good. But am I falling in love with it?
No.
Like the Lamborghini, that purple Performante, I could fall in love with that car.
Mm-hmm.
That is just good.
Yeah, I think you're right about that take.
It's just Japanese R8.
The Japanese R8.
Yeah.
Ooh. This is very not.
This is very not. This is pretty. This is a gorgeous E-Type Jag with a Bronco Raptor behind it.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
That is the Raptor Bronco, not just a regular Bronco, Raptor. But yeah, that is Make Green Great Again, green on green Jag E-Type. And boy, oh boy, is that pretty. God damn, is that pretty.
That is pretty.
I'm a fan of that a lot. That's great.
Modern cars just don't do that.
They don't. There's the body lines there. That is just something pretty, man. Yep. Oh, golly, I could just stare at that car all day.
Lots of variety at the car show. Speaking of.
Lots of variety. More than 4 Supras back to back, but more specifically, 2 new Supras. Take your pick, black or white.
Matte black, matte white on a Supra, a new Supra. Mm-hmm. Matte white.
Matte black. Also because I know the owner of that car. He's a buddy of mine. He's a good dude, and I do love the modifications on that car. The matte black has Volk TE37s, and you put TEs on anything and they work. So
okay, exclude the modifications. Stock.
Matte black still.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. It makes the body lines work better for me.
I don't think that this photo does it justice. The matte white in the sun looked better. It's a little too... The camera can't get the contrast between the two.
Yeah.
I preferred the matte white.
Okay.
Would be more of a pain in the butt to clean, though. I'll tell you that.
I disagree.
Really?
Yeah, because black cars show every water spot.
Yes, but white cars show every speck of dirt.
They both do.
A matte black shows dirt? Not as much as a matte white.
Not as much as a gloss black.
Yes.
A gloss black is more pain in the ass to keep clean than a gloss white.
Yes.
By a huge margin.
Yeah.
Either way, I'll take the matte black.
We'll agree to disagree.
Yeah.
All right.
Very nice. McLaren 600 Longtail with silver wheels. Good spec.
How is it that this is parked way out in the middle of nowhere?
By the Corvair.
Yes.
Again, it doesn't make sense how... So, I was talking about this with my dad. If you would have asked me 10, 15 years ago that... Or not even asked me. If you would have told me 10, 15 years ago that at some point in the future, there will be, in this field where the cows are, there will be giant mall, every restaurant you can think of, every store you can think of, and there will be a monthly car event that will draw cars, casual Ferraris that are parked off in no man's land, McLaren Longtails that are parked off in no man's land. I'd have thought you're crazy.
Don't take it for granted.
No, because this was where that man in the black shirt is standing right there in this picture was a cow like 15, 20 years ago.
Yes.
That he is an cow. He has evolved from cow.
We are extremely lucky that this car show has this kind of stuff kind of parked out at the boonies.
Yeah. It's wild what it's grown into.
And it's a long tail. It's
Yeah.
not even a normal one. It's a long tail.
600 Longtail.
Yep.
Just casually parked out there. Then, here's something for you.
Oh, a BRZ. A newer one.
Then in that case, is it a BRZ? Oh, it's got a Subaru badge. So then,
it's a BRZ. Yeah, certainly. Did some modifications to it. What do you think about the paint?
No.
No?
Don't like the paint.
How do you explain the paint to those who are listening?
It's a matte chrome.
Ah.
A matte dark chrome. That's how I would describe it.
Quite the reflectivity from all the different angles.
Yeah, so it's chromey, right? But it's matte.
Yeah.
It's like take a wire brush and then go scrape that all over someone's chrome.
Yes. Do you think it works on this car?
Am I going to be honest?
Yeah.
No.
I think it can.
Ooh.
I'm not so sure I like the rest of the modifications.
It's a whole lot of aero for a car that only has 200 horsepower.
Yeah, it doesn't need any of that. The wheels are okay. The splitters.
It's giving you a whole lot of downforce for a car that only makes 200 horsepower.
The wing is unneeded. The splitter's unneeded. But the paint, I think, can work. It's got the Japanese license plate on the front. It's got the toe loop on the front. It's got character.
It's got character. It's not my cup of tea, but it's got character.
Okay.
And then again, just casually, a brand new Ford GT. Oh, I guess not brand new because they're not new anymore. But the newest third generation Ford GT just casually rolls up. I'm curious, how much do those go for now?
Oh, they got to be very, very expensive.
I'm
sure they're very not cheap.
Well, it's not showing me, but about $500,000 or so.
Oh boy, yeah.
Just casually rolling in.
At least it was parked in a spot where it was pretty front and center.
Mm-hmm. Oh, here we go. An air-cooled 911 with the impact bumpers with a scale remote-controlled McLaren 765 Longtail underneath it.
I love the contrast between the kid's little Longtail that he can drive around and Dad's old air-cooled Porsche.
Yeah, and I'm over there oogling it.
Yes, you are.
And it's Brumo's style stripes.
Because that's what you do.
Yeah, it's an air-cooled Porsche. Of course I'm going to oogle it.
All right. It's cool.
Oh, yes.
This is something you were oogling and ogling about.
With my jean shorts, my white New Balances, and my polo shirt tucked in my jean shorts that are pulled up to my nipples.
I have never seen a more... Man, how do I put this?
Are you going to be nice?
I got to be nice.
No, you don't. Unleash. Hell hath no fury.
A more old man colored Corvette in my life.
It is the most old man spec Corvette I've ever seen.
Yes.
It's that, like, old person cherry burgundy. Old person burgundy with old man tan beige accents.
The tan beige really makes it.
You know what I call that beige?
What?
Old man tan.
It's perfect.
Because every time you see an old man, he's always got an old man tan on his cars.
Mm-hmm. It's perfect. I bet you he loves this car.
Rightfully so, he should.
Yeah. I mean, it's a C8 Corvette. It's a nice car. But that color, it's it just screams I'm an old man.
That is a very not young person spec.
Not only that, but the air intake in the back, in front of the rear wheel, is also not black. There's no contrast on the side of the car at all. No. It's just red to beige, baby.
And look at the interior. Beige. It's beige. They continue the beige racing stripe with the beige interior and the beige accent on the side. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
That's
with the silver wheels.
Red and beige.
What if they had beige wheels? Oh, man.
Or red wheels with beige calipers. Or beige wheels with red calipers. Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous.
Oh, what a speck of a thing.
That one blew my mind.
What a thing.
Okay, so this brings us to the car spots.
Yes, it does.
You wanted to use this as one of your car spots.
I did, but it was at the Cars and Coffee, so I can't really use it very much.
You can't. I happened to see this as I was leaving the Cars and Coffee, going to play my disc golf round for my birthday. And this drove past me, and you had told me about it. I never actually went over to see it when we were at Cars and Coffee.
How can you not go to see the best car at Cars and Coffee?
We'll debate about that.
Oh, my God.
This is a Porsche 911 Sport Classic.
It is a Sport Classic.
Okay. This has some fancy gold lettering on the back and some different colors from the front. Other than that, it's a 911.
If you could see the interior, you'd also see a very bespoke brown interior with the houndstooth or pepita inserts that run throughout.
If I didn't know that this was at Cars and Coffee, I would have said 911 with gold lettering on the back. That's all I would have seen. I would have had no idea.
What about the ducktail? What about the heritage design badging?
I don't know the Porsche colors off the top of my head.
Sport Classic Gray.
No, that's what I'm saying. From someone who's not deep into the Porsche culture, which I'm not, you don't know. This just looks like a 911.
But it looks so much more nicer.
Tell me all about it.
Oh, my God. It's the first time I've seen one, like, properly in the flesh. I've seen one hidden under its delivery jammies with all of its, like, bubble wrap everywhere and, like, the bumper.
Where'd you see that?
I got it. I know someone. He said, hey, got a Sport Classic in. And I said, ooh, can I come see it? He said, come around back. I said, okay. But it was still wrapped up, so I couldn't really see it.
Man.
This is the first time I've seen one unraveled and in the wild. Oh, it's gorgeous.
Was it the same one?
Nope.
Okay.
Different one. The other one was gentian blue.
Gotcha.
This is Sport Classic Gray.
All right.
It is amazing.
Why is this the best Porsche you've ever seen in your life?
It's up there. It's one of 1,250 across the world. So they're only making 1,250 of them. It is a car that Porsche doesn't make normally.
Okay.
So from looking at the front bumper, you can tell it's got the 992 turbo bumper. It's got those stance and the wheels of a 992 turbo. The turbo itself is a twin turbo flat six. Only available all-wheel drive with a PDK transmission.
That's the turbo.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Turbo and Turbo S. Yep. You cannot buy a new 992, 911 Turbo or Turbo S with rear-wheel drive and a manual transmission. It does not exist. It is a car that just doesn't exist. So this is a car that doesn't exist. It's a ghost of Porsche's past.
Only in limited numbers.
Yep. It is a new 992 Turbo that they've taken the all-wheel drive out of and they've swapped in only rear-wheel drive. And then they've given it a 7-speed manual transmission.
Sounds fun.
It sounds jolly fun. It's fan-freaking-tastic.
It sounds like a great spec.
It's it's almost 550 horsepower, sent to the rear wheels only, 440 some odd pound feet of torque, if I could talk. It's 0 to 60, about 3 seconds, but who cares? It's just... With a manual transmission car stock, it'll run at 10.9 second quarter mile. It's great. I love this car. It's a driver's car.
Is a Turbo S running faster than that with all-wheel?
Yes, because it's all-wheel drive and PDK.
Right. Okay. It's a driver's car. You guys were talking about the price.
Yeah, we may have. Yeah, we may have had a conversation.
We need to talk about the price.
So I don't know what the owner paid for this particular one, but I know that there has been one that has been sold potentially locally. That the base price is $273,000 and change. By the time you have options, right, you're $300,000.
You can just throw $100,000 worth of options. That's a very Porsche thing to do.
Yeah, you're $350,000
and that's normal Porsche. To be clear.
Yeah, that's standard. But this car is so coveted that people will pay many more over the price listed.
How much more?
I heard a rumor that someone purchased one of these Sport Classics for an earth-shattering $400,000 over MSRP.
So this became a $700,000 car.
That's a $700,000 911.
I can't wrap my head around that.
That still does shock me. Although, if it is just an investment, I could see it, because I could see this car going to seven figures. In 5 to 10 years, I could see this being a seven-figure car, sure. But if you're going to drive it, then it's not going to be an investment, in which case it's not worth $700,000.
What the heck?
If you can buy one at MSRP, it's great.
The craziest thing to me is if I didn't know, it's just a 911.
Oh, Derek.
It's just a normal 911. I see them all the time.
You
everywhere.
Hurt me.
We happen to be in a nice area where we can see them all the time, but it's just a 911. And this is a $700,000 911. What? I could buy 20 of those Mustangs back there for this car.
Yeah.
What? That doesn't make any sense.
But look at it.
It's not 20 Mustangs worth of car. No, I hate to break it to you.
It's not. I couldn't, unless you're doing this, buying this instead of stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and this is literally just an alternative investment, I could start to see it. But only if you're playing the long game. If you're going to hold that for 5, 10, 15, 20 years.
And like you said, at that point, you're not driving it.
Which is the whole point of this car.
Right.
The whole point of this car is you take a turbo, get that lovely, crazy, weird turbo power band with the weirdness and just the funness to it, make it rear-wheel drive and a manual. And it's a wonderful driver's car.
I'm glad to see that they were driving it. He drove it straight to Cars and Coffee and back.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm happy to see that.
But I guess he doesn't like money.
I don't think this owner paid $400 over.
No, I'm sure not. But the point has been made. This is not simply a 911 if you know what you're looking for, but it's just a 911 if you don't know what you're looking for. It's weird.
Yeah, if you don't know what you're looking for, it's a Porsche 911. It's got an engine in the back, it's got some headlights in the front, and it's got a cool ducktail.
Do they all use the gold in the back?
Sport Classic is gold only, yes.
So if you see gold in the back, you know it's
not necessarily Sport Classic, but it's fancy.
It's fancy, yeah. Okay. Neat car.
Heritage, if it's got the gold.
Gotcha.
So yeah, that was out at Cars and Coffee. That, to me, is the star of the show. Not the Ford GT. That's very neat, but not the star of the show.
There were certainly 20 Mustangs there as well.
That's on the low end.
Yeah, yes. Yeah. At one point, there was a row of 8 Corvettes in a row, I think.
Yeah, there's a bunch.
I think I counted 8.
And it's cool that you actually saw them on the road.
Yeah.
Like, not actually in the... Sure, it was close, but not in the Cars and Coffee.
No,
like, actually driving.
Yeah, he's heading home.
I love that.
Cool. So, what have you seen as you've been on the road?
So, while I've been out and about, I don't know if I can claim this as a spot because I was at a dealer. So, technically not a spot, but I'm going to talk about it because it's the first one I've seen. So, for my work car, we use Toyota Corollas, and they're a very great, cheap, cheerful car. Well, not as cheap anymore, but cheapish and cheerful car. They serve the purpose very well. I was at the dealer getting service, and while I was at the dealer getting service, as a car guy, I like to wander around the lot.
Of course.
And there was a pre-sold car that looked like it just came in on delivery. It was the new Toyota GR Corolla, the Gazoo Racing Corolla. I saw one in the flesh for the first time.
The new hot hatch.
The new hot
street.
hatch.
Okay. Tell me about it. What did you think?
All right, first impressions. I love it.
Oh. I'm assuming you didn't get to drive it because it was already sold.
I asked.
Of course.
I asked my service advisor. I said, so what are the chances that GR Corolla back there needs to go for a spin around the block? And he said, it's already sold, waiting for delivery. I wish I could. If it wasn't sold, we would.
Dang it.
Darn. But just looking at it, it looks much more aggressive than you initially think.
Really?
It looks way wider, way beefier, just way more.
Okay.
It's more. It looks racier.
Good.
Which is great. I saw it in white with the black wheels and all that. Pretty well the same spec as we see here. Maybe not the Circuit Edition, but one of the more low-based editions. Either way, I love the look of it.
Awesome.
I love the look of it. I don't know if I love the price of it because they're being sold over MSRP as well.
How much?
10 to 20 grand over MSRP,
Ooh.
which takes this $44,000 car and puts it $64,000 car.
That's not.
Again, this is a very nice, in my eyes, $37,000 car. $38,000 car.
40 on the high end.
If you're feeling really lucky.
Yeah.
This is not a very nice $50,000 car.
No.
It's a hot hatch that has only 3 cylinders.
That's right.
Price per cylinder there is not great.
No.
Weird metric to use, but it's a very nice, extremely muscular looking hot hatch that would be great at $37,000, $38,000.
Agreed.
At $45,000, $50,000, you start to lose me.
It is rare.
Ish.
Now.
Yeah.
Currently.
Yeah.
We'll see how that changes over
We'll
time.
start to see more of them, but
Right.
it's my first one, so it's my spot of the week.
It seemed beefier to you, which I like. What were the specs of it? Do you have those?
So the specs I'm looking at are of the Circuit Edition, not the standard base.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if it was a base or not. But you get that weird, funky turbocharged 3-cylinder engine. It's like a single or it's not big. 3-cylinder turbo. It makes how many horsepower? 300 horsepower. 100 horsepower per cylinder.
Okay.
I mean,
That's good.
Yeah, 273 pound-feet of torque. You get a manual transmission only. It's 0 to 60 under 5 seconds. It's a thing, man. It's all-wheel drive. It's a thing. It competes with the Golf R, the Civic Type R, and I guess now even the new Integra Type S that we talked about a couple episodes ago.
Right. Yep. New hot hatch on the block. I want to drive one. I suspect we won't be able to for a while, but eventually I do want to drive one. I want to put it against the Veloster that I've driven because that'll be a good matchup. Price, too high.
Yeah. It's a great $38,000 hot hatch. It's not, in my opinion, and this is without driving it, just from first impressions looking at it. It's not a great $50,000 hot hatch.
Still a cool spot.
Very. Love to see one the first time. Such a cool looking thing, too.
Yes, indeed.
So, let's move on to the I wish they would have. Do you have an I wish they would have?
I do.
And?
It was my birthday.
It was?
I wish my car would sing happy birthday to me.
Oh my God. That's a very me thing to I wish.
Why?
Because it's ridiculous.
Of course. It's fantastic.
How would it sing happy birthday to you? Would it do it through the speakers? Would it do it with engine note?
Engine note.
Ooh, so it would like rev to
That's
match
what I
the
want.
notes.
I think it depends on the car. I'm pretty sure that Tesla can sing happy birthday or do their light show thing.
I think it does like a light show and horns and things.
Yeah, I think that they can do happy birthday with it. I don't want that because that doesn't really fit a Super BRZ, nor can it open the doors automatically.
It's also too cheesy.
Yeah. If it's a sports car, revving the engine would be awesome.
Yeah.
If it's a SUV type of thing, sure, the party light show is fine. Have you seen the F1 cars sing songs?
Yeah.
That's what I want.
It won't sound like that, but yes.
No, not at all. It will sound way worse.
It won't be a, what is it, a C flat?
No, it won't be anywhere close to that. But that's okay. I just wish that it had something.
But then it knows your date of birth.
Of course it knows my date of birth. You don't think they asked that when I filled out the paperwork to get the loan to buy the car? Come on.
Fair, but then your car knows it.
I'm surprised it doesn't.
Your car is a sentient human being.
No, of course. You put ChatGPT in there, and yeah, it's a human.
Oh, my.
Yeah. I wish it did. It would have been neat, but it's not that big of a deal.
Fair.
How about you?
All right. My wish would have has to do with hot hatches. I wish the brand new Acura Integra Type S that we talked about a couple episodes ago, or the new Integra Type S, was 2-door, not 4-door. End.
Was it a hatch? Should it be a hatch?
Yeah, a 2-door hatch. Just like the original Integra Type R.
Yeah, I agree.
It should have been 2 doors. I wish Acura didn't make the new Integra Type S just a Civic Type R with fancy seats and a different badge.
It would differentiate itself from the Civic, but it wouldn't hit the demographic.
You're right, but still, I just wish the new Integra Type S was 2-door, not 4.
I'm with you.
Just saying.
I'm with you.
That's my wish that would have.
Solid.
All right, so that's all I got. It's going to wrap us up for episode 202. Thanks so much for watching and listening. If you're watching on YouTube, leave a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and drop a comment on the video. Let us know, were you at Cars and Coffee? If you were there, what was your favorite thing there? Be curious to know. If you're listening on audio only, send us those thoughts via social. Facebook is We Are Auto. Instagram is We Are Auto _. YouTube is We Are Auto. And our website is weareauto.io. So thanks again. Catch you guys in the next one.
Peace.